Good morning, everybody. Today is a lesson in government shutdowns. This is my first lesson on what I'm thinking is wrong with government, and so people get properly educated. I'm going to break it down into simple men's terms because I'm a simple man, but I understand these things. So, first we have to understand government. Most governments have an elected body called a legislature, whether it's Congress or Parliament or something like that, that actually writes up and makes the laws and pass them and then send them on to the executive branch, which is the one that will put every kind of law into action. It will be, in fact, sign it and make it law. And then there's some form of judiciary, some form of court system that will decide on if something comes up before them, whether it abides by the laws of their land or not. So in this case, a budget or funding bill or anything like that is created by the legislative branch, whatever that is. They write it up and they send it off to the president to sign into law, and it goes into effect. It's the same with any other bill. It's a bill for spending is what it comes down to. So what Congress or the legislative branch, Parliament, what have you, your local city council, what they can do is put together this budget. And they send it on, but they cannot make it law. They cannot pass it into action. They cannot make it go without the approval of the executive branch, be that a mayor, a governor, a president, a prime minister, what have you. They can't make it into law without them, unless under certain circumstances, like in the United States Congress, where if there's enough votes, they can overturn a veto of a bill. Now, in most government shutdowns, you have a disagreement between the legislative branch and the executive branch. One side wants one thing, the other side wants the other thing. Now, the important thing here to remember, the legislative branch cannot shut down the government. All they can do is present bills and wait for them to be signed. The only branch of government that has any power to shut down the government is the executive branch. The case in point in Minnesota, there is a budget on the table, put out by Congress, Minnesota State Congress. Mark Dayton, the governor, did not sign it. Therefore, we have a government shutdown in this state now. It's not the state house or the state senate's fault that there is no budget. The only person that can be to blame for there not being an active budget in the state right now is Governor Mark Dayton. So don't listen to the rhetoric of anybody else around you. The person who shut down the government, who says he is upset that all these things had to go on, is Mark Dayton himself. And he's sitting up there like a rich brat, which he is, saying, I want to tax the richer people in the state. Of course, he doesn't get taxed. Everybody got to remember that he has all of his money in South Dakota, so he gets no income taxes. The only taxes he pays are what's on his gubernatorial salary, and he's richer than that. So it doesn't affect him. He even makes less than what he's taxing on, so it wouldn't affect him anyway. So if they want to have anybody to blame for the Minnesota state shutdown, it's Mark Dayton. And as July 22nd looms closer, the date that the leadership in Washington, D.C. looms closer, we're headed for another shutdown, this time with the federal government. So just remember, when it comes to that point, who is the one and only person who is going to be shutting down the government? It's not the Republicans, not the Democrats, not the House of Representatives or the Senate. It would be President Barack Obama. Keep that in mind. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.